Okay, Vic, here's the reason why I'm so miffed at this whole entire drug thing. Let's break it down to brass tacks. I was pretty good with you in the first two stories. Third one, you had a little problem with the whole entire third act breakup. That's utterly useless. Fine. But right now, not only are you doing a story that feels very postscript, but now you're doing this whole entire drug thing. And you're not come here for a freaking drug PSA. I am here for Yuri fluff. So I suggest this next chapter better be getting its move on onto something that's not drug related. Since it hadn't been that long, she found upon making the right there, she hadn't got any milk or mashed potatoes. And so, with a huff of impatience, she walked down to the little corner shop at the base of the mountain. Surely would have been unremarkable if it hadn't been for the encounter with Rainbow Dash. In retrospect, it hadn't been anything extraordinary. As part of her personal training regimen for the academy, Rainbow devoted 2 portions of every day to building her stamina. And such, it was not unusual to see her jogging up and down the mountain whenever one foot set around the other door. What was unusual was to see her looking troubled, even distracted. She almost plowed straight into the sunset, but had to lurch into someone's garden to avoid her. Sorry! We really gotta stop doing that. Running into people? Yeah, that, Rainbow confirmed, still jogging in the spot. Susan noticed that Rainbow was not looking directly at her, but at the floor. Unremarkable as this may seem, it went up as a warning flight to sunset, since Rainbow was one of those confident sorts of people who always looked at a person directly in the eyes at all times. Sunset secretly thought that if Rainbow had a boyfriend with his sharpness, there would never be a secret between them. Is something wrong? Huh? No, Nat. Just wondering if I'll be ready for when the Wonderbolts visit the fair. She grinned. Sunset narrowed one eye knowingly. See you later! Rainbow announced with an infected cheer, resuming her jog. What was that all about? Sunset wondered to herself. Shrugging, she proceeded home. Getting home, she instantly knew that Sonata was home. Her bag was tossed casually on the sofa, what Sunset told her expressly not to do countless of times, and she could hear her walking upstairs. As she boiled potatoes, she heard Sonata's light steps on the stairs. The girl let herself into the kitchen, looking oddly different. Hey there, clear your hair any? Huh? Oh yeah, I got some thinking done. Good. Sunset turned to pick up the milk, and she found Sonata standing perfectly right next to her. Oh! Sunset only had a split second to be surprised. Before she could quite comprehend what was happening, Sonata placed both hands on her face, kissed her full in the mouth. Sunset's eyes widened, while Sonata's were closed. It wasn't their first kiss, to be sure. They had kissed several times before. I would have loved to have seen their first kiss, and each felt special in their ways as kisses will. But Sunset thought she said something more in a slightly prolonged length of this one. When Sonata let go, Sunset cleared her throat, blinking once or twice. What was that for? She said, her face glowing. Sonata smiled, looking coy. Do I need a reason? That's gonna make this complicated. Sunset gave a nervous laugh. Why nervous? Why am I nervous? No, I suppose you don't. It's good to see you cheered up a bit. Actually, I want to talk to you about something. Okay, what about? What do you think about, drugs? Sunset frowned. Unless the suspect, Sunset expects Sonata to raise, drugs is pretty high on the roster. What do I think about? She asked, mashing potatoes. Like in what capacity? Medicinal? Recreational? Recreational, Sonata decided after a moment or two of thought. Sonata? Sweetie, is this really your first time encountering any sort of drugs? Really? Really? In all the time that you lived on Earth? Really? Sounds pretty weak. This is weak sauce. Susan had to think about this one. In all honesty, he never thought too much about it, except when the subject appeared on the news. One time she appeared to speak on student council, Having been placed in charge of appropriate funds for various clubs of school, so you come into contact with the eco kids. Somehow, during their open petition to be allowed to pass out leaflets outside the school, they explained to her the brief history of marijuana legislation and the war on drugs initiated in the 60s. The talk had not been entirely coherent, given the entire group insisted on speaking over each other. Sunset had been left with the personal opinion that marijuana, and other drugs to their degrees, should be treated like alcohol or cigarettes. That informed, consenting adults should be let to make their own choices. Can we please not have this talk in my Yuri, Vic? Please? I don't really have much of an opinion, to be honest. Why do you ask? Read a comment on YouTube about it. Sonata said, looking at the table. She seemed flustered, too. Sunset still wondered what got into Sonata to make her passionate all of a sudden. I'm not complaining. Good lord, not at all. Well then, Sunset began, trying to think how to praise her properly. Right. Well, I suppose that if you're informed about it, that there are several different ways you could actually investigate it. Well, tell me more. Well, you could go to your local library, or talk to somebody you know. Vic? Do you want me to bring out a small list of subjects we could be talking about that don't involve drugs? Or, this whole entire very special episode? Sonata Sunset buying a house. Their first kiss. The first time she said, I love you. Their first time. Sunset making a mistake in her supper preparations. The two getting engaged. The two getting married. The two deciding to have a kid. The two exploring their relationship. The two getting a dance together. Experiencing long-distance loneliness when Sunset goes to a far-off place. And those are just some of the ones I thought of off the top of my head. This is not one of them. Why are we here? Next morning, she found Sonata on the computer in her workroom. Peering over his shoulder, she saw what was linked to several sites, all with contemporary information on recreational drugs. Okay, Vic, please, explain to me. No, somebody in the comments, put down, what is the logical reason for why a girl who was sent to Earth several years ago in various living arrangements until now was living homeless, had not seen, heard, nor saw the use of recreational drugs? Explain this to me. I would really like to know. How would she not have known this? What, was she living under a cave all this time? Was she busy in a small little town watching over a sickly little girl as she wants this little girl try to hide her connections with people because she knew that if she made a heartwarming connection with anyone, she would die, so would the other person, and eventually she would become adopted by her aunt and eventually calling her mother, and then dying in a very tragic manner that made me cry every single time. Still not over air. Was she on a cat bus? Because I could go on a cat bus right now. Actually, going on a cat bus to date shampoo would be nice. No. Oh. Just why? Why are we here? And I swear, if she doesn't actually take these by the end of the chapter, I am going to call this whole entire drug plot a loss, and I am going to blow something up. Vic, let's try this from a different approach. You want to do a drug plot. I do not want to see you try to do a drug plot. I want to see you do some sweet Yuri. So, until I see some sweet Yuri, I'm going to go over here and start listing every single anime I can remember I have seen off the top of my list that I currently own. Alright. Azumanga Daioh. Assassinate the Classroom. Berserk. Bastard. Dragon Ball Z. Read or Die OAV. Martian Sexter Nabesco. Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Panic. Bubblegum Crisis. One Piece. Naruto. Naruto Shippuden. Full series of Inuyasha. Eva. Eva Death Rebirth. Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu-Gi-Oh! Bonds Across Time. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pyramid of Light. Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Side Dimensions. Fist of the North Star, the movie. Demon City Shinjuku. The Gatchaman OAV. Excel Saga. Rune Soldier Louis. Legend of Castania. Record of Lodoss War. Record of Lodoss War, A Tale of a New Hero. Gunsword. Gundam Soldiers of Sorrow. Mobile Suit Gundam 1. Mobile Suit Gundam. Encounters in Space. Charged Counterattack. F-91. G Gundam. Gundam Wing. Gundam X Volume 1. Gundam 00. First half of Gundam Seed. Outlaw Star. Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop the movie. Trigun. Trinity Blood. Vampire Knight. Black Blood Brothers. Blood Plus. Legend of Dragoon. Not Panzer Dragoon. It's an old school OAV based on an RPG. You guys probably have never heard of it. Let's see. Where was I? Astro Boy. A complete series of Speed Racer, dubbed. Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon R. Sailor Moon S. Sailor Moon Super S. Sailor Stars. All 3 Sailor Moon movies. On VHS and DVD. Dragon Ball GT. Dragon Ball. The Dragon Ball movies. The Dragon Ball Z movies. The Dragon Ball GT special. The Dragon Ball Z movie specials. Let's see. City Hunter. Magic Knight Rayearth. Seasons 1 and 2. Those are a personal favorite of mine. Bleach. Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War. Glass Slip. Colorful. Ugh, I hate those above two. And I think I'm right. Oh, Better Men. Bubblegum Crisis 2040. Let's see. No. Ever had those days you're trying to name off your anime collection and you just know you're missing something? Oh. Of course. Helsing and Helsing Abridged, the second play of Food Wars. Guarantee you, me listing off my entire anime collection, way more interesting. And no, you ain't missing a dang thing. All that's going on is Fleur having a talk about sexuality with Sunset, a subject I refuse to believe Sunset has never encountered before or had discussed with Sonata.